Good morning. I want to welcome everyone to our Administrative Assistants Fall Kickoff. To get us started, I am going to turn it over to our Commissioner, Dr. Jerome Singleton.
Thank you. Good morning. And thank you for joining us. Welcome to a brand new year. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity to take a little break and reflect and relax a little bit before we get started again. We understand the work that you do is very important. While we talk a lot to principals and ADs, and sometimes coaches, we know that administrative assistants are the ones that actually do the work in the background for us. And we appreciate that. Know that we will always be available to you in any way that we can possibly help. With that, thank you again for joining us. And we'll turn it over to Associate Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Commissioner Singleton, for that, and Amy for the introduction. I just want to welcome everybody today to our kickoff for our school year. Just one quick housekeeping thing before we get started. If you have a question, be sure to put it in the Q&A, and as we're going along, we will make sure to, if it's for the good of the group, we will answer it during the presentation. If not, we will still be monitoring it to make sure that we get your questions answered. So any questions, be sure to put it in chat, put in the Q&A so that we can get any of the further questions that you might have answered. And here we go. All right, so we're going to jump right into it, talk about academic eligibility. So, of course, this gets put into big teams. You have a student show up on campus. You want to make sure that they are a full-time student at your school, as denoted by the state of South Carolina. So make sure that you have that they have the course load needed to be a full-time student at your school. Now, as far as academic eligibility, when a student has already taken a course and they decided that they want to retake the course for some reason, they've taken the course, they've received credit, and they've received credit for the course, they cannot use that for eligibility if they've already taken it one time. So the student takes it 2 times, they receive credit the first time, it's called monitoring a course, they cannot use it towards eligibility the second time. Now let's look at a few of the requirements, a few more requirements when it comes to a student being academically eligible to participate in athletics at your school. So for students 9 through 12, they're full-time student, you're looking at their transcript. First thing, they have to have that overall passing average. So in the state of South Carolina, of course, that is a 1.0. So make sure that they have that 1.0 GPA. Then you're looking at the transcript. You have to look and see, have they passed 5 academic courses? If they've passed 5 academic courses, you put that in big teams as 5. And the good thing about big teams is that when you put 5+ in big teams, when you're putting their academic courses in, it automatically populates the rest of the cells. So you don't have to answer any of the other columns when it comes to the academic courses. Now, they have the 5 courses, they're good to go. You can definitely move on. They're academically eligible to play. But if they don't have the 5 courses, then you have to look and see if they've at least passed 4 courses. And those 4 courses, they've passed each course that is required for graduation. So any of those credits that they need, any one of those 24 credits that they need to graduate from high school, they had to have passed those courses. So they don't have the 5. They have at least 4, and they've passed all those courses required for graduation. So you're talking about your science, your math, your English, your college and career ready, any of those electives that actually count towards those 24 needed for graduation, then they're good to go. Now let's talk a little bit about what this looks like based on the type of schedule that you have at your school. So if you have a traditional year-long schedule, when you're looking at their credits, 1 unit, if it's a class that has 1 unit, it counts as 1 course, okay? If it's a 0.5 unit class, then it counts as a 0.5 course. Now with block scheduling, it differs a little bit. So block scheduling, you have that 4x4 schedule. The kids are taking a year-long course in one semester. That 1-unit class counts as 2 courses. It doubles up as 2 courses. And then that 0.5-unit class doubles up as 1 course. And then if you have your hybrid scheduling, make sure that you know whether that class that the kid is taking is a semester course or if it's a year-long course. And then you can use that, accordingly as far as when you're looking at the academic eligibility. So remember, block scheduling, 4x4 scheduling, the courses, 1 course doubles up as 2, with your traditional year-long schedule, 1 class is 1 course. All right, so students have to satisfy the requirements in the semester preceding. So let's break that down once again. What does this look like for the traditional schedule? What does it look like for your block, your 4x4 scheduling? So if you're on your block scheduling, your 4x4 scheduling, if you're looking to see if a kid is academically eligible to play fall sports, football, volleyball, tennis, girls golf, cross country, then you have to look at the semester preceding. Okay, did they pass those academic requirements during that spring semester? Now, if you're looking to qualify them for spring sports or the second half of the winter season, then of course you're looking at, did they satisfy the eligibility requirements in the fall semester? Now, year long, once again, it's a little bit different. So if you're looking to qualify your kids in the fall for your fall sports, then you look at the credits they earned at the end of the year in the spring semester. So they've taken their year-long courses. You look at their classes. Have they met the academic requirements? Have they received the credits that they need to be academically eligible? Now, for the spring semester, you will look at their fall courses. For your spring sports, you will look at their fall courses and see, are they passing their classes? Year-long course, they haven't finished the course yet. Are they just passing those courses in the fall semester so that he or she can be academically eligible in the spring semester? One other thing, when it comes to academic eligibility, the credits earned during summer school can be used during the first semester, and you can use a max of 2 credits. So a max of 2 credits during summer school can be used for academic eligibility in that first semester. And last but not least, if you have middle school students, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they are able to play based on whether they have been promoted to the next grade based on your district policy. Okay, so it applies 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. 6th graders, of course, that are moving up to 7th, and then 7th and 8th graders, 7th moving up to 8th, and then of course the 8th graders moving up to 9th for the, for the fall semester. If they've been academically promoted, they are able to play. So pass the grade, they're able to play. All right. Do we have any questions in regards to academic eligibility?
We do not. I'm responding to one right now.
Okay. All right. Yep. And with academic eligibility, if you ever have questions, if you ever, have questions about academic eligibility, you can always send us transcripts. We can help kind of take a look at it and guide you as to whether the kid is academically eligible or not. So if something is not clear, you have questions, please definitely reach out to our office. All right, something that I wanted to push. So we're moving from the academic eligibility to our officials. Really want to encourage you all to encourage your athletic departments to participate in our officials appreciation weeks. This is one way that we can show our appreciation to our officials and also help retain our officials, because one of the things that they really do appreciate is when they are receiving or they have, there is a school that is participating in these appreciation weeks. So the dates, there's one for each sports season, fall, winter, and spring, just different examples for your school in order for them to participate. You see some over on the screen. Thank you notes, small goodie bag signs. There are a few schools that participated this past year that just took pictures with their team and the officials. So definitely want to encourage you all to participate in the officials appreciation weeks that we have coming up this year. And with that, I will pass it on to Amy Boozer, and she will talk a little bit about transfers.
Right, thanks, Sarah. As we're starting this school year, just want to start off by saying, who is a transfer? Want to make you aware that any student who was not enrolled at your school the entire previous school year is considered a transfer. If they came to you last school year in October, they have not been with you for one calendar year. So therefore, they are a transfer. The same would go for your middle schools. If they are not coming to you from your feeder middle school, or they were not at that feeder middle school the entire previous year, they are considered a transfer. We have school districts that do allow school choice. So they allow students to have the opportunity to enroll at other schools for academics, but this does not automatically give them athletic eligibility. So if you have students that were not at your school and they're doing like school choice through the district, you need to still check and complete a transfer form on that student for them to be eligible. So it does not automatically give them athletic eligibility if the school allows them to come to you for academics. All right, all transfer students, they must meet the two criterias. And the first one is that student eligible to represent the school from which they are leaving. So you have to confirm with that school to see if they were in good standing and if they were able to represent and be able to participate in athletics for the school that they are leaving. And then the second question, did they participate on an outside team in which a coach, this does include volunteer coaches, coached or had input into the selection of the outside team? So these are two requirements for all transfers. If they meet these two requirements, then you will get into what transfer or what type of transfer are they under one of the following circumstances to become eligible. And this is listed in our bylaws, Article 3, Section 10, A through N. This is page 12 through 15 of the bylaws. I'm not going to go in depth on what all the transfers are, but I will share what some of the common transfers are. And I always want to reference you back to look into those sections to see, are they meeting this requirement or not? With transfers, all transfers must have the transfer form completed, and this needs to be entered into Big Teams before they are eligible to compete. So again, once you get all the information, that form needs to be submitted into Big Teams and needs to be approved before the student is eligible to compete. Athletes who are not eligible, or if the form has not been entered or approved, these student athletes cannot play in a scrimmage, jamboree, or contest. They cannot be in uniform during a scrimmage, jamboree, or contest. They are eligible to practice, but just not be able to participate in these types of contests. Any questions on this so far? Okay. So these are some of the common types of transfers, and I just kind of have them listed here for you. I do encourage you to go and look and see what is a bona fide change of address. In addition to what we have on the transfers for A through N, bona fide change of address is listed there, but then there are also in Article 12, our definition sections, it breaks down what a bona fide change of address is. And the biggest bullet point that I want to bring to your attention is that the entire family unit must move. So the student athlete can't just move and move in with a relative and that be considered a bona fide change of address. So the household would have to make that change of address, and the former residence would need to be closed out. So that's one of the, or some of the points to bona fide change of address. Then you have intra-district. So an intra-district transfer is going to be when a student transfers to another school within your school district. So if you're in a school district that has multiple schools, they are eligible to do an intra-district transfer. This is only allowed for 8th grade students and then 10th, 11th, or 12th grade year. This type of transfer is 365 days. So once they utilize it, it has to be for 365 days before they could utilize another intra-district transfer. Okay, a third common one is our ninth graders. So you have a ninth grader that was not at your feeder school and they're starting with you at the new school. They are a transfer. I think there's a lot of confusion that people think just because they start with you on ninth grade that they're starting their eligibility. That is some truth to that, but if they were not with you or at your feeder middle school the previous year and they're making a decision to come to you as a ninth grader, then that is going to be a transfer. That is a form that has to be filled out on Big Teams, and that would be school choice, and that is only applicable their ninth grade year. A one-time move to a biological parent, so that would be if a student was residing with someone other than a biological parent and they were residing with them prior to the start of 7th grade, they would have that opportunity to move to that biological parent. Then we have non-member to member. So this is students coming from a private school that are enrolling, or students that are coming from a homeschool association, or students coming from a virtual online charter school. These would be considered non-member to member transfers. These are only going to apply to students that live in the attendance zone of your school. So they must reside in your attendance zone. The parents must reside in your attendance zone. They would have had to be at the non-member for at least 45 days. And in addition, they cannot transfer and be eligible in a sport they've already participated in. So if you have a student who is participating in basketball, and then they decide they want to enroll into the public school in January, they would not be eligible for basketball as they have already participated in that for that school year. And then parent separation and divorce. The big point here is that it does have to be a court-ordered document. It does have to be signed or stamped. It has to be signed by a judge or stamped by the clerk of court. Without that document, that transfer is not going to go through. It's not going to be an eligible transfer. So you must have that document from the courts showing that it's signed by a judge or stamped by the clerk of court. Let's see, we have. And I'll come back. I see we've got a couple questions there. We will go through and answer those here shortly, so just bear with us. Guardianship. So you can see guardianship, it's A through E. So if a student athlete does not meet one of these for guardianship, then guardianship cannot be used. And you can see what it states here for what we look at, what's going to give a student guardianship under the transfer rule. And again, if it's not listed A through E, then they are not going to be eligible. A lot of students or a lot of parents want to bring in notarized documents. All right, our answer to notarized documents is going to be no to athletic eligibility. If you would go ahead and go to the next slide. So right here, if you get a notarized documents, your immediate response is no to athletic eligibility. There is nothing in our transfers that allows for a notarized document to be used. So please make note of that. And I'm just going to pause really quickly and answer some of these questions. We'll get to league passes here a little bit later. Yeah, so if you do not have a feeder, if you do not have a feeder middle school and you have ninth graders that are coming to you, yes, you do have to fill out that transfer form, ninth grade school of choice. So you do consider ninth graders, if they were not at your feeder school, you do consider them ninth grade school of choice, and you do have to fill out the document on Big Teams. Okay, moving on from transfers. All right, let's talk about the charter and homeschool. So state law is going to allow students who are charter school to be able to participate back at the school that they are zoned to attend, provided that sport is not offered. So if they're at a charter school, the sport is not offered, they are eligible to come and participate at the school they are zoned to attend. This is not included here, but I do want to go on and share this. There was a proviso placed in for private school students. Private school students are very similar to charter school. If the sport is not offered and that private school in grades 9 through 12 has 200 students or less, then those students are now eligible to participate at the school where they are zoned to attend. So again, private school students, if the private school grades 9 through 12 has 200 or less students, then those students, if that sport is not offered, could participate back at the public school where they are zoned to attend. And that is new. That has been put into place for this upcoming school year. Students who are homeschooled, so they are a part of a homeschool association, they are only going to be eligible to play where they are zoned to attend, and they must have been homeschooled for at least 1 year, sometime during their academic career, prior to them being eligible to participate. So homeschool students still have that 1 year that is in place before they can participate. And then always just check with your parents to verify what type of schooling they're doing. Are they truly doing the homeschool association, or are they doing like your virtual online charter schools? So just make sure you ask that, clarify that, because there is a difference between the homeschool association and the charter school, and it is that 1 year waiting period. Just to remind you, these are not transfer students. You do not fill out a transfer form on this, but there is an intent to participate for those students who are homeschooled. We will be getting a document similar to that for the private school students as well. And I encourage you right now with the private school, just get something in writing stating that their intent is to participate. You also want to get something to verify their home address as well, to verify that they are in your attendance area. Foreign exchange. So if you have a student who comes to your school as a foreign exchange student, they have to live in your attendance area to be eligible. They are only going to be eligible for 1 year, and then they also must be a member of an approved foreign exchange program. These forms are entered on Big Teams. You do have to set the student up an account first, and then you'll be able to put that student's name in to complete the foreign exchange form. And on that form, it will have a drop down for you to check which program they're in. If that program is not listed there, then that means it was not an approved foreign exchange program, and therefore they would not be eligible. And just remind your Big Teams, what we use Big Teams for. You will be submitting your eligibility, your transfers, foreign exchange, all of that paperwork is entered there. And then also your coaches' rule clinics. So for winter and spring sports, their rule clinics will be on Big Teams. We will be sending more information out for that as it gets closer to their date, but that'll be the month of October for winter and then the month of January for spring sports. And the information Sarah covered, the information I covered in regards to transfers, and she covered in academic eligibility, please go to your AD notebook. Right here we have the handbook. The bylaws are there. That is where that information comes from. We also have the rules and regulations. That's where you can see sport-specific information in regards to the number of contests, any other thing that you can look for. But just want to point this out. If you click on the AD notebook, this information is going to come up, and this is a very handy area for you to look at and utilize. Maybe even want to print it off so you have a hard copy, especially of those bylaws and rules and regulations to help you throughout this school year. Let's see, we have one question. Okay. And with that, if there are no other questions, I am going to turn it over to Dr. Rodan.
All right, hello everyone. Just making sure. I hope everyone is healthy, happy, and well. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about all the educational services and needs. And so first, let's go ahead and talk about coaches' requirements. So please make sure that, or help your ADs make sure that all of your coaches have their certificates for concussion course, heat acclimatization course, sudden cardiac arrest course, protecting student athletes from abuse course. So all coaches need to have those courses done, and they can find them on nfhslearn.com. As well as all coaches need to be certified in CPR and AED every 2 years. And so this has that CPR certification has to be an in-person training. If you have a employee that's non-district, they also need to do the fundamentals of coaching course if they are the head coach. All right, so this is where you can truly help your school to get those banners and certificates. This also creates an amazing culture of sportsmanship, which I don't know if you guys have been watching the Olympics, but the level of sportsmanship from American athletes and those who represent South Carolina has been quite amazing. And it's because of our high schools and the teaching that they get as far as sportsmanship is concerned. So I would encourage each of you guys to get in touch with me so that we can make sure that each of our member schools have everything that they need in order to promote sportsmanship, leadership, community service, and the like. So we love to celebrate you guys for doing this. And so I'm going to go over the difference between a banner and a certificate. All right. So in order for your school to get a banner certificate, you have to do community service activities. For the banner, you need to do 4 activities, and one of those community service activities needs to be during the week of Living Clean. And then for the certificate, there has to be at least 2 community service activities, and one must be during the Living Clean week. Okay, and it can be over any season or any of your sports. So I know that you guys can get those community service done. All you have to do is make sure that they're submitted to me or submitted to the league. And if it's a Living Clean week, then you need to submit on the week of Living Clean. But as long as we get all 4, then that will be satisfied. Next would be the captain's courses. In order to get the banner, your school must attend all captain's courses and summits. In order to get the certificate, your school needs to participate in all captain's courses. And so this is where, once again, you can be super helpful by just creating or designating a space for your captains to come and with a screen set up, and they can just come to a specific area in your school and watch, because it is a virtual captain's course and summit. And so just having a space available for them to come would be quite easy. Also, with registration, I think a good tool would be to have a document that you send to all coaches to go ahead and send you in names of their captains for fall or for each season, but we'll use fall, for example. They can send you all the names of their captains, and then you or your AD can go ahead and register them directly for that captain's course. And that would be a great way to do the captain's portion. For summits, the summits are for all your student athletes, and so it's a general registration, and then you can just have a space available for all student athletes to come in and watch our leadership and health summits. Okay. The next thing is ejections. In order to get the banner, no ejections, coaches, athletes, none at all. And then for the certificate, no more than 3 athlete ejections or no coaches ejections. And then when it comes to sportsmanship issues or sanctions, no other sportsmanship issues or sanctions, altercations, things of that nature. And then the last thing in order to get the banner is a sportsmanship program. This would just be like a student advisory council or just something where students get together from different sports and discuss some of the issues that might be happening amongst in sports spaces. All right, so I would really like for you to get my information. So if you are interested in taking on that initiative, I can give you whatever you need to make sure that happens. And you can always look on page 17 to 22 in the rules and regulations in the handbook to find out more information. All right, so if you have your cameras available, please take them out now to take a picture of these dates, because just having these dates available and sending them out to coaches and everyone will make sure that we get you guys registered to these great events. So these are awesome opportunities. This is something I love, is that I'm a product of South Carolina. And so giving back in this way is pretty exciting. So please make sure to take a picture. We will have our first fall captain's course August 15th. And we'll have Paula Kirkland, our National Federation of High School Hall of Famer. She will be speaking. And so these are great opportunities for your student athletes. So please take a picture and utilize these great services. If you have any more questions about student services, just give me a call.
All right, thank you, Dr. Rodan. And she doing a great job of wanting to get information out to all of our schools. We're wanting all of our schools to really buy in to wanting to earn those sportsmanship awards, whether it's a certificate or banner. So just we're trying to spread the word. We've shared it at all of our rule clinics for fall sports. So just want to encourage it on all aspects and all levels for our high school, for our high schools to earn that sportsmanship award next year. This is new booking fees. So the booking fees for all varsity sports have been changed to $100. And then for all sub-varsity sports would be $75. Swim is $50. So this is new. This has been changed to start this school year. Varsity football and basketball, those are paid here to the league office. They're paid through your league dues. But then for your other sports, for example, fall, volleyball, swim, those payments are going to be made to the individual director for your area. So that would also include competitive cheer. So you would need to just make sure you know who that director is to submit those booking fees to. I know a lot of them are very prompt in reaching out and getting that information to you all. There is a change fee. So if changes are made to the original schedule inside of 14 days, there is going to be a $10 change fee. Now, this is not going to include if you're having to cancel or postpone due to weather circumstances outside of your control. But if they're just moving games to move games and it's inside that 14 days, it is going to result in a $10 change fee. And then for scrimmages, there is a $25 fee that's paid to the local assigner per scrimmage. So any home scrimmage that you're hosting, there could be, or your director will send a $25 fee for that to be paid. Financial forms, I know it's a little early, but as we get to fall sports, you'll be wanting to know where those financial forms are. They are in the form section. We are sitting down trying to get our form section cleaned up. We took the advice you all gave us from the meeting in April, and we're trying to get some of that stuff where it looks a little bit better and a little bit easier for you to find what you're looking for. But those forms have been updated for the 24-25 school year. Remember, they're going to be in sports season, so it'll fall, winter, spring, and those financial forms will be located there. And just a reminder, if no money is due to the league office, those forms still need to be submitted to our office in addition to the visiting team. So if you're hosting a playoff contest, make sure to get those forms sent to us in a timely manner. League passes. So this is the big question. This was our big question in our mandatory meeting for our principals and school administrators and athletic directors. Your principal and I think athletic director received an email maybe over a week ago, just kind of giving an update. You should be, or the principal should be, receiving something soon with the process of how to sign up. We are with a new company. It will be a little bit different as your coaches will be simply adding their league passes to their wallet. So if they have like an Apple phone, it'll just be adding to their wallet. Right now, I think the last thing we're just trying to do is get the information on uploading their photo, and then we will be getting that information out. I know everyone is eager to find out about the league passes, but something should be coming out. Hopefully later this week, you will have more information on the league passes. And again, this is sent to the principal, so please check with them. The online directory, I just encourage you, and we encouraged our athletic directors and principals to do the same. Please go look at your online directory, make sure it's up to date. If any changes are needed to be made, or coaches updated, or even a principal or athletic director, whoever the school administrator is, and I know we showed that back in the April meeting, you can see that. If you look on the website, on the high school league website, and look at the directory, it will show you who your school directory or your school admin person is for the directory. That person is who is able to go in and update the information and make any changes that are needed for this upcoming school year. We do ask that cell phones are put in the directory. Those are only accessible by our office, but there are times that we do need to get in contact with a principal or an athletic director, and it is outside of the school hours. So please take the time to go check your directory and make sure it is up to date with your new coaches that are coming in this year, email addresses, and cell phone numbers. All right, this was very short. It was just to kind of kick off the fall season. If there are any questions or things that we can assist you with, do not hesitate to reach out to our office. That is what we are here for. We're here to assist you. If you have questions regarding your academic eligibility, transfers, whatever else it may be, do not hesitate to reach out. We will be glad to assist you throughout this school year. And we hope all of you have a wonderful start back to school. I know some schools have already started and some are anticipating starting. So again, if there are no other questions, we will close out this meeting. And I see there is a question right here regarding booking fees. Your booking fees for varsity football and varsity basketball are included in your league dues that are sent here from the office. Then your other booking fees, your assigner, so whoever the director is for that sport in your area should be sending you a booking fee, or you may need to reach out to them. So again, you can see that information on our website. If you look under the officials tab, it shows you exactly who your assigner or your director is for that area, and they will be able to assist you with that. And league passes, I see I have another question about league passes. Your principal should be receiving an email. They've already received one, just kind of giving them an update that we're changing companies, and that you should be receiving another one this week with the process of how to do those league passes and get them updated on the phone. And this PowerPoint or this presentation, this webinar has been recorded. It will be posted on our website. So you are able to go back and watch this webinar. So outside of that, I hope everyone has a great day and stays safe with the weather. And again, if we can be any assistance this school year, please let us know. Thank you for attending today.